excited are you to watch Angel play?
Very excited. It's my first time watching her play as a pro. And I get to see Caitlin Clark up close and personal, so looking forward to the game.
How impactful has your relationship been with Angel?
She's like a daughter to me, so I'm going to protect her. I call her and just mess with her, but it's great. She's doing a great job.
She reminds me of one of my babies, Shaquille O'Neal said of Angel Reese in 2023. The Chicago Sky star, who has competed with Caitlin Clark since their high school days, has always received full backing from the NBA legend and her uncle. Despite the crowd favoring Clark for Rookie of the Year, Shaq will not deviate from his favorite mentee. And as the rivalry continues in the WNBA, O'Neal wouldn't have it any other way. What happens when you bring two powerhouses together on a single team? Well, Shaq doesn't want to find out if it's Reese and Clark. He says on the latest episode of The Big Podcast with Shaq,
Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark would play so well together.
Nope,
They'd be a perfect pick and roll.
I don't want them together. I want them to battle against each other because right now we're up.
While he has watched both play in person and on TV and praised both for their individual talents, O'Neal wants the two to play on separate teams. Talking about his own rivals and friends, including Alonzo Mourning, Shaq says,
You know what I'm saying? So like we had our own personal battle. So in college, we got the championship. They didn't. So now storyline could be Indiana's in the playoffs, the Chicago. Like it's a whole bunch of storylines, and I think it's very interesting.
Oh, it's going to be great.
I think it has definitely elevated the women's game. But don't make no mistake about it. I'm Angel Reese all
My
day.
one thing is all the disgusting people that are in Angel Reese's DMs talking.
While the Sky rookie considers Shaq as something of a father figure, the NBA legend has reciprocated the love and respect for Reese. Interestingly, when Shaq recently watched a Fever game from courtside, he couldn't help but be impressed with Clark's skills. Calling her the real deal afterward, O'Neal said on the podcast after clarifying that he was talking as a fan and not Shaq, but then he plays the devil's advocate. Despite heaping all that praise on her nemesis, the NBA legend clarifies,
No, because, well, one, let's not get it twisted. I'm an Angel all day. You know,
Why do you have to pick?
But because like I don't want people to turn it one way and then she think I'm turning my back on her. For example,
Gotcha.
NFL, I'm Cowboys, so there ain't nothing to talk about. WNBA, I'm Angel all day. Now, I'm not Shaq, I'm a fan. Caitlin plays the right way. I've seen her on TV, and a lot of times we know that on TV don't really translate to the court all the time. So I saw it, she makes the right play. Every time, not all the time, she makes her teammates better. She shoot the ball. She's a great player, but I'm Angel Reese all day. Don't ever get it twisted.
Now the 6'2" forward is out of the season with a wrist injury and is likely not going to win the Rookie of the Year. And yet, going against the grain, Shaq has picked Reese over Clark yet again, and it's not just because of their close relationship. For many, the Rookie of the Year was always going to come down to Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, despite the many new names sprinkled across the league in 2024. The competition started out close and went through a roller coaster, but after the Olympics break, Clark cleared her name. But despite what the common consensus says, Shaq is not convinced. He revealed to ESPN in July. She made the comment the other day that she was born like this, and it's true. Her mentality, the way she plays, no nonsense, going to say what is on her mind, going to play the way she plays, and I love that about her. In late August, Reese incidentally reached a milestone that Shaq had reached in 1993, record 20 rebounds in 2 consecutive games, and the first rookie in the WNBA or NBA to accomplish the feat since Shaq did with the Magic in 1993 per ESPN. Certainly, the Sky number 5 has also been busy on the floor to make a case for herself. Well, these two might not be biologically related, but the close connection between Reese and Shaq is apparent. While the former NBA pro will always support the rivalry between his mentee and Caitlin Clark, he'll also always choose Angel Reese's side.
There are thousands of people on social media who are questioning this injury. There are thousands of people on social media who are claiming that this Angel Reese injury is fake, or as Donnie Brasco would call it, a fugazi.
Angel Reese's wrist injury has taken an unexpected turn. Fans are excited about some surprising new details. Caitlin Clark is at the center of it all. What's happening behind the scenes is hard to believe.
Now, is there legitimacy to these claims? Would Angel Reese actually fake an injury? Would Angel Reese prematurely end her rookie season to spare herself the embarrassment?
Here's the deal. Angel's career is on the line, while Caitlyn's is taking off. It's like a real-life sports drama unfolding. Angel is at a critical point, and everyone's wondering, will this injury be her downfall or her comeback?
And even in her press conference, it didn't seem like anything was wrong. She didn't discuss an injury. So fans were actually really shocked when she came out and said that she would be out for the rest of the season. In the 24 hours after the news broke, the internet ran wild with conspiracy theories. They were wondering if she was truly injured.
Here's where things take a fascinating turn. Some fans are questioning whether there's more to Angel's injury than meets the eye. Is it genuine, or is she orchestrating a larger strategy while Caitlyn is setting records? The WNBA landscape is changing, and we're all struggling to keep pace. This has transcended basketball. It's now about uncovering Angel Reese's true identity and her next move. Buckle up for this wild ride.
Basically, the doctors told me that I could either not get surgery or have surgery. The risk of not having surgery, I could literally have arthritis at 22 years old. That wasn't an option. The bone could literally crack and literally completely shatter. Right now it's like a hairline, literally a hairline, like shatter, not even that big, but they're gonna put like a small little screw in it.
Remember when Angel fell? It sparked a big mystery in the WNBA. Her injury might not be her biggest problem. Angel Reese was racing against the Los Angeles Sparks, ready to shine. After her shot, she fell and said she hurt her wrist. Yet, she was seen hitting the floor with that wrist. Then things took a turn. Angel claimed she had a fracture, but not just any fracture. It was in a tough-to-heal spot. Now she's faced with a hard choice: risky surgery or early arthritis. Imagine being 22 and having to make that call.
Angel's a poor shooter of the basketball. I don't know any other way to say it. She's just a poor shooter.
And the Chicago Sky, at best this season, will be the 8th seed in the playoffs and probably get smoked by the Liberty first round. So what's the point?
We've never seen official reports about this injury. Its details remain unclear, sparking fan curiosity. Is there more to the story? You might wonder how this impacts the Chicago Sky. Typically, losing a star player would hurt a team. Surprisingly, the Sky have continued as usual, with or without Angel.
I also think it's going to be interesting to see how the Chicago Sky runs specifically their offense without Angel Reese on the court, because one thing that they have focused on this entire season through wins and losses is feeding the ball through Angel Reese. The offense has pretty much gone through her the majority of the season. It has worked in their favor in some ways, and it has caused some losses in some ways. And I also think that a player like Camila Cardoso, who was the number 3 pick in the WNBA draft, she has been pushed to the side, and Angel Reese has been in that spotlight.
Let's simplify this. The Sky's playoff chances are slim, and Angel's absence isn't helping. The team is struggling either way. Now people are questioning if Angel is truly the game changer they believed.
However, when it comes to play on the court, I think that Camila Cardoso hasn't been able to find her groove, and I don't think that the Chicago Sky have utilized these two players in the way that they probably should have, because I feel like they have a pretty big threat with these two if they use them properly. So hopefully, even with Angel Reese out through the rest of the season, they can maybe try some different lineups, try to run offenses a different way, and maybe figure out what will work best going into next season.
But wait, there's more. Angel's teammates are starting to speak up, and it's not looking good. After a crushing 31-point loss to the Washington Mystics, Camila Cardoso didn't hold back. She called the performance embarrassing. Ouch. That's not just frustration, that's a teammate who's reached her breaking point. You might be wondering, is Angel really as upset as she appears? That's the key question. Some fans are looking closer and starting to think there's more to her injury than she's admitting. Is she using this break for another reason? Could there be a bigger plan we're not seeing?
I'm still a rookie. I'm still figuring it out, trying to figure things out. So if I am Rookie of the Year, God, thank you.
You definitely won't be the Rookie of the Year.
If I'm not, back to the drawing board, and I just want to win. Getting to the playoffs is something that I really, really, really want to do. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm not really thinking about Rookie of the Year.
She's clearly thinking about it. It's evident on her face. She knows she might lose it. Just when the Angel Reese story seemed to peak, Caitlin Clark entered. She's not just playing basketball, she's changing the rules for newcomers. How is one player altering the WNBA so much?
Saying Angel Reese is better than Caitlin Clark is saying Rodman was better than Michael Jordan, or Ben Wallace was better than Kobe, or even Andre Drummond was better than LeBron. And I shouldn't have to point out that Angel Reese is actually a poor defender.
Let's discuss Caitlin Clark's impressive stats. She's averaging 23.4 points and 10.6 assists per game, leading the league. Remarkably, she's also made history. Clark is the first rookie to achieve 2 triple-doubles in a season. Amazing, right?
The WNBA's black superstars should thank their lucky stars. For the record ratings, Caitlin Clark is detonating, even if new fans are mostly white fans. It doesn't matter what color eyeballs are.
Clark's influence extends beyond statistics. The Indiana Fever, they're selling out arenas, both home and away. Fans flock to see Clark play. Each game turns into a showcase for her. Meanwhile, Reese isn't pleased. She's taking shots at Caitlin's fans.
I think there's a lot of racism when it comes to it, and I don't believe she stands on any of that. But when you come, when it's behind your name, that's when a lot of people are like, oh, they think, oh, I don't like her because her fans are saying this. No, I don't believe in her heart that she has hatred towards me. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure she believes that I don't have hatred towards her, but I think her fan base has gone, I'm talking about like,
it's a lot.
It's a lot. Like,
we see it all the time.
I know y'all see it. Like, I literally saw something today that was like,
You might be wondering how significant this is. Well, consider this. Clark's recent game against the Atlanta Dream drew viewers in droves. Its numbers rivaled NFL games, all within the WNBA. That's impressive, but it gets even better.
Angel Reese announced on Twitter that her rookie season as a WNBA dump diver is officially over. Hey there, lonely male followers, it's me, Angel. No bikini pics today because I have bad news. I have spent the weekend at Woke Memorial Hospital under the care of pretend Dr. Jill Biden. Jilly just informed me that I've got a boo-boo on my wrist. Ouchie!
Clark is busy lifting her whole team. She's more than just a top scorer, she's improving everyone around her. It's like seeing a basketball expert lead an orchestra. Each pass and play clicks perfectly.
Okay, but that being said, 3 in a row has never been done before in the WNBA. I don't believe that it's been done in the NBA. Now look at these numbers. Look at these numbers for the week of September 2nd to September 8th. 25 points per game, 4.3 made threes per game, 10 assists per game, 7.7 rebounds per game.
Caitlin's take on the Angel Reese injury drama might surprise you. Instead of sparking rivalry, she's choosing sportsmanship. Clark said, "It's sad to see anyone injured. Her drive is among the best in the league." So, amidst the drama, Clark is showing respect. She's not just acknowledging Reese's talent, but also her hard work. This shift in perspective could signal the end of rivalry. Perhaps it's the start of a new alliance.
Yeah, I think it's obviously definitely sad anytime you see anybody go down with an injury, especially people that you came into this league with, whether it was Cam, whether it was Angel, and especially Angel. Like, you want to see her finish out this year. Obviously, she's had a historic year and she's done some incredible things. And for me, like, getting to play against her, like, her motor is up there, if not the best in the league. Like, she just doesn't stop working. So, congratulations to her. I thought she had a tremendous year. And I thought she came to the league and really did what she's done well her entire career as long as I've known her. So it's definitely devastating. That's never anything you want to see from a player. And then obviously our rookie class has kind of been hit with a few more injuries than you would have liked to see. And I think, for myself, I think just some of those things you can't avoid, especially in their 2 instances. Obviously, I don't know the specific details, but that's kind of what comes with basketball at times. So, it's sad for them, but I think at the same time for myself, is just continue to take care of your body, take care of yourself. It becomes a long season, especially when you're playing games with one day in between. Like, you really have to prioritize that. But like I said, some of those things are just unavoidable, and it's sad to see.
Just when you thought this rivalry was predictable, Angel Reese surprises us. What if I told you she's considering a move that could redefine WNBA stardom? It's a decision that's splitting her fans.
To hate, because I am a successful Black woman. I'm doing a lot of things that you haven't seen before.
Angel Reese just dropped a bombshell that has everyone talking. She said, "I'd rather be rich than famous." Can you believe it? That's not something you hear every day from a rising basketball star. It's like she suddenly flipped the script on her entire career.
I'd rather be like rich than famous. Like I'd rather be like, everybody want to be famous, but like they don't really know what like come with it. Like it's fun, like all the connections and stuff you make, but like sometimes you just want to live a normal life. Like we were talking about, like just being able to walk down the street casually.
You might be thinking, isn't Angel just about basketball? But here's the twist. While dealing with her wrist injury, Angel has been busy off the court. She launched a podcast and shared dreams beyond basketball. Now, fans are left wondering what's up.
Impact, I want to continue like just to normalize like fashion in women's basketball, women's sports, women being outspoken, just being able to have a voice and like being able to be outgoing and super outgoing and not just be, okay, only men can do it, like women can do the same thing.
Some people are excited about Angel's new direction. They see her as smart for planning beyond basketball. After all, a basketball career is short. However, others are worried. They think she might lose focus on what made her famous. Angel is at a big crossroads. On one hand, she has the talent to shine in the WNBA. On the other, there are new opportunities. These include podcasts, endorsements, and new career paths. She's caught between two worlds and needs to make a choice.
As she has in things off the court, and she has done more off the court than I feel like any other WNBA player in the league this season. She has been so busy with like commercials, brand deals, fashion things, the Met Gala, movie premieres, all of the things. One critique that I have of Angel and how she handled her rookie season, I honestly don't think that she should have ever taken on that villain role. And she said it herself. That's why I'm saying it here.
Now things get interesting. What if this injury is more than a setback? What if it's Angel's big moment, like in superhero movies where the hero faces the toughest challenge? This could be her test. Will she return stronger and rule the court? Or will she take this chance to change direction?
So I can no longer play pretend basketball, but don't worry, lonely men. You will still be able to see me on my podcast, and I'm sure my girl Lotto will give me a feature in her next music video titled Pretend Basketball Meets Pretend Rapper.
But wait, there's more. Angel isn't just deciding for herself, she's possibly changing the game for all WNBA players. Think about it. If Angel can balance basketball and building her brand, she opens doors for everyone in the league. She's not just playing basketball, she's strategizing her entire career.
I'm going to preface all of this by saying the rivalry worked. The media hyping up these two players and acting like Angel Reese has been in the Rookie of the Year conversation when, in my personal opinion, that just isn't even fair to her to say when Caitlyn ran away with this a few months ago. Having that rivalry worked when it comes to viewership, when it comes to engagement, when it comes to all of those things. However, seeing Angel Reese in the media throughout the past 3 months and how she has come out multiple times and said how she gets a lot of hate online, she gets bullied, different things are sent to her. A lot of these things are alluding to the fact, and she even said that in her farewell letter, that this is the first time that she will get a physical and mental break. I do think that some of this drama, and she started some of it, to be fair, got to her.
So what's next for Angel Reese? Will she shock everyone by coming back stronger than ever to dominate the court? Or is she about to make a move that no one sees coming? One thing's for sure, whatever Angel decides, it's going to shake up the WNBA in a big way.
And probably took up more mental space and emotional space than it should have. And I'm only saying this because we've seen her continue to make little sly remarks, even though she says there's no bad blood between her and Caitlyn. And also, not all of this is directed at Caitlyn. She just likes to call out haters and clap back at haters and say different things. And my advice to her from somebody who has been in this industry, maybe not the highest spotlight that she is at, but I have been in somewhat of this spotlight in the sports world. The more that you clap back, the more that you say things, whether you're right or not, whether you're defending yourself in the proper way or not, more is going to come back at you.
Angel is at a crucial point. It's more than just her wrist. The whole WNBA is watching. Once seen as the next big star, she now faces a choice. Should she battle back from injury to return stronger, or is it time to leave the game behind?
The more that she says, like, hey haters, like, it wasn't this, I'm this, it's just, it fuels those negative people to continue saying negative things about you. When she went on her podcast, in her first episode in her podcast, like, the title, I don't know if she changed it at this point because Caitlin Clark was also like in the thumbnail of her video, but the title being like addressing the Caitlin Clark drama. And while in that podcast she said that she respects Caitlin, she's sure that they'll play together, and I like agree with her on all this. I'm not saying that she's lying about any of this, but when she then throws in, but Caitlin Clark fans do this, and this, just that little piece of information, just that little thing that you said is going to stir up more controversy and people coming back at you.
Angel's choice isn't just for her, it's crucial for all WNBA players. If she succeeds off the court, it could change the game. So what's next? Will Angel surprise us and shine on the court again? Or is she about to make an unexpected move? Either way, it will significantly impact the WNBA.
When Kennedy Carter hip-checked Caitlin, was that a basketball play? Absolutely not. Was Kennedy wrong? 100%. It was not as hard as people say, but it was everywhere. When Alyssa Thomas clotheslined Angel and took her out, that was worse than what Kennedy did.
Facts.
But where was the uproar? Tell me why.
One's a villain.
Who?
The one who says she's a villain. What I'm saying is if Draymond right now gets closed by somebody, there's no uproar.
Case of Angel Reese, who's just had to shut it down because of a wrist injury. Caitlin Clark, who's continuing to play. Rivalry that goes back to their college days, presumably, where I guess some trash talking entered in. But now it seems on some social media channels to have taken a darker turn, a more menacing turn, where race has been introduced into the conversation, where sexuality is sometimes introduced into the conversation. How do you try and stay ahead of that, try and tamp it down, or act as a league when two of your most visible players are involved, not personally, it would seem, but their fan bases are involved in saying some very uncharitable things about the other?
Well, the one thing that's great about the league right now, we do sit at this intersection of culture and sport and fashion and music. Like, the WNBA players are really looked at now as kind of cultural icons.
True.
And when you have that, you have a lot of attention on you. There's no more apathy. Everybody cares. It is a little that Bird Magic moment, if you recall, from 1979 when those two rookies came in from a big college.
WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert is in hot water after comments regarding the rivalry between college stars Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. What initially seemed like a routine media moment has quickly morphed into a firestorm, sparking intense conversations among players and fans alike. During a recent segment on CNBC's Power Lunch, Engelbert was asked how the league plans to navigate the less savory aspects of the rivalry, especially given the racially charged dialogue that has cropped up online. While she acknowledged the negativity, Engelbert shifted focus to the marketing potential, likening the rivalry to the legendary Magic Johnson-Larry Bird rivalry from 1979.
With these two, but the one thing I know about sports, you need rivalry. That's what makes people watch. They want to watch games of consequence between rivals. They don't want everybody being nice to one another. So the social media is different today than it was in 1979 when it didn't exist. But, you know, I always tell the players, you know, I was told a long time ago, if someone's typing something in and you wouldn't ask their advice, ignore it. So it's a balance, but certainly from a marketing dollars, but corporate partners are stepping up to endorse these players much more so than they were.
This statement is spreading across social media. Just look at what's Ken Swift's tweeted. WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert on the toxicity that spawned from the Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese rivalry. Seems to me the WNBA media who keeps chastising the fans is running counter to what the commissioner wants. Let me know what you think. This is Me For Now reacted on Twitter. Honestly, the WNBA media knows that too, because they could diminish it, but they fuel the flame every single day. Pink Puma tweeted, It's been clear from day one the league officials are trying to capitalize off of Clark, and the players and coaches are trying to ruin it. However, Engelbert's comments didn't sit well with many prominent WNBA players, particularly black athletes, who felt she glossed over critical issues. Connecticut Sun guard Dejounte Carrington didn't hold back, expressing her disappointment that Engelbert missed an opportunity to confront racism directly. "It was eye-opening because of what we've experienced this season," Carrington remarked. "Some of it has been pretty sickening, and it should have been called out. The news is spreading like wildfire. Check out what our Female Athlete Network post on Reddit. WNBA players seemingly react to Kathy Engelbert's controversial Caitlin Clark Angel Reese comments. New York Liberty star Breanna Stewart echoed Carrington's sentiment, labeling the comments disappointing. Three-time WNBA champion Chelsea Gray took it a step further, voicing her frustration at the perceived downplaying of the racial undertones surrounding the rivalry. "There's a responsibility when you're in that position to address things head-on," Gray noted, suggesting Engelbert missed a crucial opportunity to confront these vital issues. "It's not enough to brush it aside." Engelbert's comparison to the Bird-Johnson rivalry has ignited further debate. While that iconic competition helped elevate the NBA, many feel that the comparison diminishes the complexities that female athletes, especially black women, face today, both on and off the court. There's a growing consensus that Engelbert should have taken a firmer stand against the racial attacks that have followed Clark and Reese's rise to stardom. The backlash has initiated a robust dialogue within the league, with players questioning whether the WNBA is doing enough to safeguard its athletes from the harsh realities of public scrutiny. Although Engelbert emphasized the rivalry's importance for the league's growth, the conversation has shifted dramatically. Players are making it abundantly clear that issues of race and respect deserve far more attention than mere marketing benefits. As this dialogue evolves, it remains uncertain whether Engelbert will issue a follow-up statement to clarify her stance. One thing is clear: the voices of WNBA players are resonating louder than ever, and they're demanding a more proactive approach from their leadership. The stakes are high, and the call for accountability is echoing throughout the league. This situation serves as a reminder that while rivalries can drive interest, they also come with the responsibility of addressing broader societal issues. The WNBA is at a pivotal moment, and how Engelbert chooses to navigate this conversation could have lasting implications for the league and its players. The players are ready to hold their commissioner accountable, emphasizing that the fight for equality and respect goes far beyond the court.
Because the African-American lesbian players were going overboard in their racism and sexism on Caitlin Clark. Lynn and the WNBA had to send different videos et al. To the league to get this crap to stop, and the league has, for the most part, stopped.
This shocking admission reveals the internal struggles that Caitlin Clark has faced, not just from the fans, but even from within the WNBA itself. It's hard to believe, but the racism and sexism directed at her were so rampant that the league had to step in.
It seems on some social media channels to have taken a darker turn, a more menacing turn, where race has been introduced into the conversation, where sexuality is sometimes introduced into the conversation. How do you try and stay ahead of that, try and tamp it down, or act as a league when two of your most visible players are involved, not personally, it would seem, but their fan bases are involved in saying some very uncharitable things?
This was the turning point when the conversations around Caitlin Clark's performance started moving away from basketball and into darker territory. Race and sexuality became the focus of an escalating controversy.
One thing that's great about the league right now, we do sit at this intersection of culture and sport and fashion and music. Like, the WNBA players are really looked at now as cultural icons.
True.
And when you have that, you have a lot of attention on you. There's no more apathy. Everybody cares. It is a little that Bird Magic moment, if you recall, from 1979, when those two rookies came in from a big college rivalry, one white, one black. And so we have that moment with these two. But
while Engelbert tries to frame this as a historic rivalry moment, it's far from that. The issues surrounding Clark and her competitors aren't just about sports. It's a reflection of the larger problems in the league.
Well, I mean, might as well. Caitlin Clark, they got their ass beat last night. But, man, Charles Barkley said this a couple days ago that the WNBA could not have effed this up more. Kathy Engelbert, who is the commissioner, is facing criticism from members of the Players Association for not condemning racism and homophobia, which was, of course, and inevitably tied back to Caitlin Clark.
Barkley lays it all out. This was a failure on multiple levels, and now Clark is at the center of it all. The league's inability to handle these tensions has left everyone watching.
You answered them in private. Awful Announcing said her response was not only lackluster. Oh, really? It lacked of any substance. Well, so what? She's right. This is months ago, you idiots at Awful Announcing. What are you talking about? Engelbert's word salad reply.
Even media outlets are calling out the league's inability to tackle these issues head on. Caitlin Clark may be a top performer, but the WNBA's handling of the controversy surrounding her is far from winning any accolades. The relationships I create here are my legacy. Caitlin Clark quite clearly announced back in Iowa just what she thought mattered the most to her. And now, as she continues to thrill the WNBA crowd with her record-breaking displays, she stands by her words. When the generational talent was drafted as the first overall pick this year, she was not the only one joining the league after shining for the Hawkeyes. Kate Martin was another Iowa alum who entered the big stage, joining the Las Vegas Aces. As their third encounter comes close, Clark is ready to host her former teammate just as nicely. In her recent media availability, the Fever guard talked about welcoming Kate Martin to Indianapolis. She said, "It's definitely pretty weird to us, like we were teammates for 4 years. We got very used to that and now going against." So then like you love it, you joke about it, but at the same time, it just takes some getting used to. I know a lot of our coaches will be here on the same night. Looks like a fun thing for all of them to be able to do too. And sharing that memory and that joy with us. But I'm just super proud of her and happy for her. The 22-year-old guard also hinted towards her former Iowa head coach, Lisa Bluder, making an attendance when Fever will lock horns with the Aces on Wednesday. Both of the WNBA rookies played 4 years together with Bluder at the helm and led the Hawkeyes to back-to-back NCAA finals. When the duo bid adieu to their alma mater, the 63-year-old also decided to step down from the coaching role. While Caitlin Clark has definitely been the talk of the town with her exceptional rookie season, her best friend Martin is yet to have a firm grip with Aces. Nevertheless, she has always found her college best friend acknowledging her and their friendship. The friendship between the opponent rookies, back in May, the former college teammates faced for the very first time in W. While the excitement among enthusiasts was obvious, Clark only made the matchup even more interesting when she opened up on her bond with the Aces rookie. "Kate is obviously one of my best friends, somebody that was with me all 4 years at Iowa. I was the person that kind of begged her to come back for her 6th year," said the Fever number 22. After taking a redshirt year and benefiting from the NCAA's COVID-19 eligibility extension, Martin announced in February 2023 that she would be returning for a 6th and final season with the Hawkeyes. She, along with Clark, led the team to the finals, but could not sweep the championship after falling to the South Carolina Gamecocks.
Caitlin isn't much of a defender either. 2/3 of the way through the year, it was clear she was on an all-time record turnover pace. And for 2/3 of the year, Caitlin's three-point shooting ranked near the bottom of the league in percentage. I still get frustrated because she won't shoot enough in fourth quarters because she defers to her vets. Angel Reese is actually a poor defender. Angel's team has now fallen to 11-22, so she isn't having nearly the impact that Caitlin is having on her team. Angel Reese is better than Caitlin Clark, is saying Rodman was better than Michael Jordan. The truth is, Angel's a poor shooter of the basketball. I don't know any other way to say it. She's just a poor shooter.
Skip didn't hold back when it came to discussing two of the WNBA's most talked about rookies, Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. Let's see how Skip absolutely destroyed these young stars.
Caitlin isn't much of a defender either. Though she can and she will steal the basketball. She's 15th in the WNBA in steals.
First up, let's talk about Caitlin Clark. Now, we all know she's been making waves in the league, but Skip's not buying all the hype. He starts off by dropping this bomb. Caitlin isn't much of a defender either. Ouch. That's gotta hurt for all the Clark fans out there. But wait, there's more.
2/3 of the way through the year, it was clear she was on an all-time record turnover pace, the likes of which I have never witnessed. It's almost like she was trying to turn the basketball over.
Skip doesn't stop there. He goes on to absolutely roast Clark's ball handling skills. According to Skip, 2/3 of the way through the year, it was clear she was on an all-time record turnover pace. An all-time record? That's not the kind of history you want to be making in your rookie year, Caitlin.
Caitlin's three-point shooting ranked near the bottom of the league in percentage. Yet, you're right. The truth is...
But hold on to your seats, folks, because Skip's just warming up. He then takes aim at Clark's shooting, saying, for 2/3 of the year, Caitlin's three-point shooting ranked near the bottom of the league in percentage. Near the bottom of the league? That's not what you expect from someone who's supposed to be a sharpshooter.
I still get frustrated because she won't shoot enough in fourth quarters because she defers to her vets. She's got horrendous pressure on her.
And just when you think Skip's done with Clark, he delivers this final blow. I still get frustrated because she won't shoot enough in fourth quarters because she defers to her vets. Looks like Skip thinks Clark needs to step up and take charge in crunch time. No mercy from Bayless today. Now let's turn our attention to Angel Reese. If you thought Skip was harsh on Clark, wait till you hear what he had to say about Reese.
Angel Reese is actually a poor defender, Brittany.
Right out of the gate, Skip drops this bombshell. Angel Reese is actually a poor defender. Wow. For someone who's known for her physical presence on the court, that's a pretty damning assessment from Skip.
Angel's team has now fallen to 11-22. So she isn't having nearly the impact that Caitlin is having on her team.
But Skip's just getting started. He goes on to question Reese's impact on her team, stating, Angel's team has now fallen to 11-22, so she isn't having nearly the impact that Caitlin is having on her team. Ouch. Skip's basically saying Reese isn't living up to the hype and isn't making her team better. That's gotta sting.
Angel Reese is better than Caitlin Clark, is saying Rodman was better than Michael Jordan, or Ben Wallace was better than Kobe.
And if you thought that was harsh, wait till you hear this. Skip actually compares the idea of Reese being better than Clark to saying Rodman was better than Michael Jordan. Talk about a brutal analogy. Skip's basically saying anyone who thinks Reese is better than Clark is out of their mind.
Angel's a poor shooter of the basketball. I don't know any other way to say it. She's just a poor shooter. She's now 38% from the floor, not from three. She's 2 of 12 from three. That's 17%.
But the knockout punch comes when Skip talks about Reese's shooting. He doesn't mince words here, folks. Skip straight up says, the truth is and was a poor shooter of the basketball. I don't know any other way to say it. She's just a poor shooter. No sugarcoating there. Skip's calling it like he sees it, and he sees Reese as a liability on offense. Now you might be thinking, wow, Skip really went in on these two, and you'd be right. But here's where things get interesting. Despite all these criticisms, Skip actually ends up praising Clark quite a bit throughout the rest of the segment. He calls her a once-a-generation passer, and even suggests she could be pushing for MVP. So what's the deal? Is Skip playing both sides? Or is he just being brutally honest about both the strengths and weaknesses of these young stars? One thing's for sure. Skip Bayless knows how to stir up controversy. By pointing out these flaws in Clark and Reese's games, he's guaranteed to get people talking. And isn't that what sports media is all about? But let's take a step back for a moment. Are Skip's criticisms fair? Is he being too harsh on these rookies who are still finding their footing in the league? Or is this tough love exactly what they need to hear to improve their games? It's worth noting that both Clark and Reese have had incredible success in their college careers. They're adjusting to a new level of play, facing the best of the best night in and night out. Growing pains are to be expected, but in the high-stakes world of professional sports, you're only as good as your last game. Skip's comments raise some interesting questions about expectations in the WNBA. Are we putting too much pressure on these young stars to be perfect right out of the gate? Or is this level of scrutiny just part of being a high-profile athlete? One thing's for certain. Both Clark and Reese have shown flashes of brilliance in their rookie seasons. They've also both shown areas where they need to improve. That's the nature of the game. Even the greatest players have aspects of their game they need to work on. So, what do you think? Did Skip Bayless go too far in his criticisms? Or is he just doing his job by providing honest, unfiltered analysis? Are Clark and Reese getting a raw deal? Or do they need to step up their games? Whatever your opinion, one thing's for sure. The WNBA is more exciting than ever with young talents like Clark and Reese in the league. And as long as there are players making waves, you can bet Skip Bayless will be there with his hot takes, ready to stir the pot and keep us all talking. Caitlin Clark's second triple-double also makes her the third player in WNBA history to finish a game with 20-plus points, 10-plus rebounds, 10-plus assists, 3-plus STL. This tweet alone shows how Caitlin Clark continues to make history. In tonight's game, she once again showcased why she's one of the most dynamic rookies the league has ever seen. If an argument for Caitlin Clark as the MVP had to be made, there are undeniable factors supporting it. Indiana Fever has gone from winning a dozen games last season to 18-16, improved to a 500 and are real playoff contenders. Meanwhile, Clark's picking up 3-point and assist records as a great passer and helping her team. So when the star rookie recorded her second career triple-double tonight, she aided Aaliyah Boston in making history herself. Not to be underscored, Boston had an impressive outing that puts her in league with WNBA titans like Lisa Leslie and Brittany Griner. Indiana Fever toppled the Los Angeles Sparks 93-86 with Aaliyah Boston recording a monster double-double with 24 points, 14 rebounds, and 4 assists, going 62.5% from the field. She's now only the third player in WNBA history to have multiple games in one regular season with 20-plus points, 14-plus rebounds, 4-plus assists, and 60% field goal percentage. The only others who have accomplished this are Lisa Leslie and the one who Boston recently clashed with, Brittany Griner. Caitlin Clark notched the second triple-double of her career, 24 points, 10 assists, 10 rebounds in this game. She's the only rookie to do it twice in the league. She also made 4 threes and had 3 steals. She got her first triple-double in July over New York Liberty. Her selfless passing style stood out in this game over the Sparks that a few ex-users compared her to Magic Johnson, the Lakers legend and Sparks co-owner, and it definitely enabled Aaliyah to record her own individual accolade.
Or Timmy Finlay not shooting the three that easily or that comfortably. I don't know if that's comfortable, but it's nice by Caitlin Clark.
The buzz and attention surrounding Caitlin Clark's game are unlike anything seen in the league until now. The jersey sales, the sold-out stadiums, the peak viewership, this massive wave of popularity mirrors the excitement that swept through the NBA in the 80s when Michael Jordan became a household name. So WNBA analyst Nancy Lieberman believes that Clark deserves admiration as MJ does, as opposed to the lack of recognition or criticism that may come her way. Calling out the critics and haters, Lieberman on the Stephen A. Smith Show said, "I just don't understand people. Now you have signature shoes for both men and women because of what MJ did and how he and his team constructed business. Caitlin is doing that right now, and she should be supported and not maligned for that." Lieberman's claims about Clark's influence are understandable when we bring Clark's $28 million Nike deal, which is the most lucrative shoe deal in WNBA history. Clark is soon expected to receive her own signature shoe as well. Jordan's wasn't quite hushed itself. 5-year, $2.5 million deal, 3 times that of any other deal in the league. Thus drawing parallels, Lieberman continues on to say that it is jealousy that is driving the lack of support toward Caitlin Clark as previously observed towards other notable players like Jordan or Tiger Woods. It's not a Caitlin thing, it's a people thing. I mean, people were so jealous of Michael Jordan back in 1984. UNC Chicago Stadium was half empty prior to him arriving. The stadiums were filling up then. TV wanted him and the Bulls on every game, she says.